Hello guys, today we will discuss the first type in the lock based protocol, which is locking. So we have already discussed the two types of lock, which are exclusive lock and the shared lock. So we will use those two locks here. So this is the basically a schedule in which we have two transactions, T1 and T2, and in this we are transferring money from A account to B account, and the initial amount in A is 1000 and B is 300. Okay, so let's see how. First I put the exclusive lock on A, then it reads transaction T1 reads the value of A, that is 1000. Then I subtract 500 from it and it will return the writing that is a 500. After that, transaction 1 unlock the A because there is no need will be in the further, that's why it is unlocking it. Now the transaction 2 to T2 comes, which uses shared lock on A, read the value of A, which is 500 because of this. Then after that, unlock A, then it put the shared lock on B, then read the value of B, 300, unlock B, then display A plus B. Okay guys, now see, after that it will return the control to the transaction 1. It put the exclusive lock on B, read the value of B, then B is equal to B plus 500, that is adding 500 in it, that is the return value will be the 800, and after that unlock B. Okay guys, so this is the concurrent way of running this transaction by using the two locks. But let's see, is it the consistent or not? First of all, this is the account A and B. Whatever I subtract or add in this, the total amount should be same. Okay, that will be the answer, should be 1300. So let's see, in this I use the value of 1000, it will return 500 because subtracting it. After that, this is a 500 and this is a, but when I really used to use I am using this A plus B, it returned 800, and then it returned the 800 on B only. That means there is an error, because A plus B is, if A plus B is equal to 800, then how only B is 800? That means A should be 0, then it going to be 800. Where exactly wrong happened here? It read the value of A from this. Okay guys, but after reading the value of B, it just add in it. Okay guys, this is okay. But the problem is that B's value is 300, I am just adding 500 in it, so B value becomes 800. But here is, we are subtracting 500 from it, that means I am adding 500 in it, which should give us the value of 1300, but it's giving us the 800. So this is the problem. That's why this problem occurs. This gives us the inconsistent result. So we use some improvement in this locking techniques, which says कि first of all you will not unlock any lock in the mid of the that until you have used that lock completely. Okay, you will have to unlock every we have to unlock every data item in the end, not before. So in this I am just doing that, I am not using this unlock here. Okay guys, I am just use the exclusive lock here. Okay guys, so I am just using this one, I am removing this one, and this will be shifted to here. Okay, if I run same in this, that if I am using a shared lock on this and unlocking in the last, then it will be okay. But if I run this transaction T1 first, then T2, it will give the consistent result always. But sometimes there may be a more schedule, because if I want to run them in a concurrent manner, so maybe that it creates some problem, which is the main disadvantages of this locking technique, which is a deadlock. Suppose this transaction T1 is holding this exclusive lock on A. Okay, now suppose this transaction T2 come, which want lock A, but which want shared lock on A, but it is not possible. So it is request for the shared lock on B, which it will get. Okay, it requests for the shared lock on B, which it will get. But the problem is that transaction 2 is now holding a shared lock on B, and transaction T1 is holding the exclusive lock on A. When the transaction goes down, T1 requests for the shared exclusive lock on B, but it is being held by the transaction 2, so it will not release that. Okay, or it will wait until T2 release this shared lock. Okay guys, but in this this transaction 2 is requesting for the shared lock on A, which is being held by the transaction 1. So this is the main problem. T1 is requesting the lock on B and T2 requesting the lock on A. Okay guys, but T1 is holding lock on A, but it's not going to release that. T2 is holding a lock on B, but it is not going to release that for the T1. So both of them have to wait for the long time until one of transaction release its lock. So that is the main problem, which is known as a deadlock. Okay guys, so we will use how in the next video we will discuss the two-phase locking technique, which is a second type of lock-based protocols. So how two-phase locking just improve these things and remove that deadlock problem. Okay, so get ready with that video, and please guys, this video is helping you to please like and share this video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.